Good afternoon, folks, and thanks for joining us. Welcome to Kickin' It with Tim and the Mechanic. I'm Tim Wheaton, joined as always by the Mechanic, Brandon Cuttino. How you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. Had a whole bunch of kickboxing going on this past weekend, and I'm ready to talk about it.
Holy, what a weekend it was. We're back. Glory 81. We had Rise. We got stuff upcoming that we're going to be talking about. We got KRUSH shows. We got ONE Championship. We got other news going on. We got all sorts of good stuff. But let's start at the top, what everybody wants to talk about. What are you wearing? What shirt what you going on? What's going on? Nice.
Kicking it, baby. Best kickboxing show out there, man. Support us. You know where to go. FightersFirst.shop. That's where you get all our stuff. You can support me and Tim with all our Kicking It merch. You can get the Mechanic collection, which is just my shirts, and of course you can support Tim and Cav Kick Sports as well.
Awesome stuff, man. And I'm so pumped. So Jamal Ben Saddik defeated Benjamin Adegbuyi by first round knockout again. He did it a second. It was more of a firefight this time, I'll say, even though it was a first round stoppage. Again, it was way more exciting. But man, Jamal Ben Saddik has got a head made of iron. If you're going to get in a firefight against him, you got to be able to stand with him. What were your reactions to this fight? What happens next? Give me all the good stuff from Glory 81.
Yeah, man. It was. I mean, hey, you guys all know I'm a Benny guy. I was rooting for Adegbuyi. I wanted him to get that. I wanted him to get that revenge, but it just wasn't his night, man. Yo, Jamal Ben Saddik came in some sick shape. I mean, people criticized him for getting tired in his last fight against Rico. I think he took that to heart. Got himself in the best shape that he's capable. You saw how he looked, slimmed down. I think he was a solid 262. But that was like 262 of muscle. That wasn't no fat out there really, you know. And man, like, dude, like, I mean, we talk about heavy hitters at heavyweight, and I mean, Jamal Ben Saddik is one of them, man. Like saying the guy is called Goliath for a reason, and he showed it, man, with that power, man. He caught Benny, and it was lights out, man. Like I always tell people, man, when you see them go face down, butt up, you know it's a rat, and that's what happened.
He was fully turned around. He was in the ropes. He was out this time. There was no dispute that he was out this time. I feel like Jamal Ben Saddik, as he ages on, he was never a very fast fighter, but I think him losing some speed has actually almost perfected his style, that he's just drilled down on a couple of things that he does extremely well, which is like brawling, combination punching, stuff like this. He's gotten arguably better, even though he may have lost a step, may have lost some speed. I actually think he's a better fighter than he was even like 2-3 years ago. Am I crazy for saying this?
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, it's all about who you're training with, and like I say, as you get more experience, you kind of become a wiser fighter. As they say, work smarter, not harder, and that's how it is. Like as you get the experience, you kind of know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and then you kind of work around that.
Yeah, I think that's completely reasonable. Find what works for you and make it work. And I think it really has. Jamal Ben Saddik. So here's what the official word is, but they want Jamal Ben Saddik to fight his training partner, Antonio Plazabot, for an interim title. But of course, neither of those guys want that. On Glory Collision 4, that's when they want to do it. Levi Ridkers is also just kind of hanging out on the card, so he's kind of the odd combination to it. And maybe he'll get the fight because those two really don't want to do it. What do you do? Force him to fight? Do you put Levy in there? What do you do with this combination?
So this is the thing that I was talking to people on Saturday, and because the thing is, I mean, unless either Glory changed their mind or Todd Grisham and Joseph Valtellini don't know what's going on, because on the broadcast, nobody brought it up. Like, we all knew that the plan was the winner of this fight is going to fight Plazabot for an interim title at Collision. Yeah. But nobody brought it up. Even when they interviewed him, they were like, oh, hey, what's next for you? And it's like, dude, we all know what it is, but nobody is saying it. So that's why I was like, well, did they maybe change their mind and they're not going to do this and they're going to go with something else? Because as we know, the plan is for them to do an interim title fight. But the thing was, though, the commentators never said anything. So that's why it made me think, well, maybe this isn't happening because, again, like you said, maybe these two guys are like, hey, we're not going to fight each other. Maybe Plazabot is like, hey, I will wait. If I'm the true number one contender, I'll wait for Rico whenever that is. Or maybe like you say, maybe they will slide Levi Rickers in. But then it's like, how does Rickers deserve a title shot when he didn't even fight or anything like that,
Yeah, he's got like a 1-fight win streak right now, and he steps into the interim title. However, that's what Plauzabot said. We talked to him for like 40 minutes here, and he was like, "Yeah, I would rather fight Rigters for the interim title." And of course, the undertones, it's just like the interim title's dumb. Get Rico back in here, all that stuff. But yeah, if they didn't say it on the broadcast, you would think they'd be hyping it up for their big, massive Glory Collision event. If they're not hyping it up, they definitely have other plans. Something else is going to go on there, and whether you get like the resetting of Levy versus JBS again, and Plauzabot, I don't know, just gets crowned. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But they've got a few moving parts here. Best case scenario, like I don't know. Of course, us as fans, like, yeah, just make them fight. I don't care. I'd fight my friends for money. I don't give a shit. So we got also Donovan Wisse has defended his title successfully, shutting out the Portuguese-born opponent in his Glory debut. What were your thoughts on this fight? Most people seem underwhelmed with it.
Well, I think because if you look at the leading up to that fight, all of the other fights were either finishes or they were exciting pace action. While this fight kind of wasn't. I mean, hey, the champ came in, did his thing. He's the champ. He out there represented, did his thing. I think also too, he's never gone 5 rounds. So there could have been a chance for him to kind of test his cardio, see how it is, see if he can really go the 5 rounds. Also, I remember the challenger first time in Glory is automatically co-main event, title shot, the nerves, everything like that. I mean, it is what it is to me, the way how it is. But to me, man, the champ did his thing. Let's see who's next for him. I mean, I know there was somebody, well, I wouldn't say on the prelims, because really the guy on the prelims was calling for the number 1 contender. He wasn't even calling for the champ. He
asked like, who's the number 1 contender? And Joe was like, I don't really know, actually.
Exactly. I was like, Valtellini, what are you doing, man? You got to know the rankings out here. But it was like, okay, well, who's next in for him? I don't really like the middleweight division is kind of been shifted. Like, it's kind of like a lot of people either left or they don't have a middleweight division anymore, basically. That's why to me they had to go outside and get this guy from Portugal to come fight him.
The only guy I think in their top 5 who's not coming off of a loss is Serkan Ozkaglayan, who's a relatively new signee, but I think he's got 2 fights now, 2 pretty good wins in Glory here. But yeah, he's the number 1 contender officially ranked with wins over Etrigal Bayrak and Matt Baker.
Yeah, Matt Baker. I was gonna say, because that guy, isn't he cousins with? He's cousin with somebody.
I don't know. Me?
No.
No.
He's cousin with somebody. I want to say, in Glory. I'm like, is he cousins with Bader? Or man.
Let me see if I can find it on the bio here.
I know, I can't remember, man. I want to say he's going, because I remember that when he came in, because I remember when he put Matt Baker out, I was like,
Serkan. Yeah, he trains with Gokhan and Bader. He's like he's Gokhan's cousin.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. I knew he was somebody's cousin that was big.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, honestly, I actually thought he was the one that was going to get the title shot before they went, to the guy from Portugal. But maybe he wasn't ready. I don't know. But that's what I thought was nice, because like I say, because they kind of pushed him out there where he had a fight, and the next thing the next event he was already fighting again, 2 finishes. He's like, hey, I'm here, man. I don't got time to waste, because I think he used to fight at either light heavyweight or heavyweight or something, and he dropped down. He got himself in sick shape, so I could see him really being the next opponent.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, ranked number 1. He's beaten guys in the top 5. I agree that he's the top guy. And we will get to let's jump into our undercard boy now. I was really impressed with Michael Boapea. It's absolutely awesome. Great to see. A really good win from Ghana. He had such a dominant style in this fight, outstriking his opponent 3-1, I think, by the end, and showing full combination kickboxing skills. Throwing high, throwing low. And then, like you said, he called out the number 1 contender. Nobody knew who Serkan was on the broadcast, and that's fine. But he wants the number 1 contender. And that's a fair call out. Not calling out the champion. He's like, I just made my debut. I'll go for a number 1 contender. Yeah. What do you think of the future of this young? He's young as well. But what do you think?
I believe he's only 22, but he looked good. He got I think he got the knockdown in the first round, I believe it was, or the end of the first. And man, he was on point, man. Like I said, like you said, combinations were on point, kick game, punch game. He was just flowing, looked real good, made it look easy. Yeah, you know, and like I said, man, that's somebody again. He got the mic in front of his face. He saw he did the most with his opportunity. He called out the number one contender, which of course he kind of put Joseph Valtellini on the spot. It didn't seem like Joe knew who it was, and Joe was like, maybe you're the new number one contender. And it's like, wait, no, he's saying who's the number one contender. But yeah, but
I love it. Okay, and we also had Siad Kepanek and Ahmed Sikh get first round stoppages. Give me your thoughts on these ones to let me know what's going on.
Oh no, man, dude! It was like, dude, glory, man. It was just a good event, man. You know, like I said, good stoppages, good action. Like I said, like you always go with glory. Usually, the KO ratio is usually always high. You know, on the card. But yeah, man, it was just good.
It was. Absolutely. Denis Wosek got a dominant win over the Rise champion, and Stoyan Koprivensky will fight a third time against Tijan Beztadi later this year. And those are great stuff.
Man, I got to give you credit. You called it. You said the sniper was going to win. Oh man, I got to say to me, man, that fight with him and Belay, to me that was fight of the night. That was high level kickboxing right there. Those guys just straight countering each other as well, just throwing. Man, they would get hit, but they would still come back with something. And yeah, man, I'm down. I'm down for for the third fight between them. I believe they are 1-1. So there's a trilogy. And again, this is a fight here where you see is like, hey, these guys are fighting the champion. They said it on the broadcast.
Yes.
They brought the champion in to promote it. That's why I'm like, okay, we know this fight is happening. Yeah. But again, it goes back to what we talked about with the main event and Jamal Ben Saddik. And it's like, well, hey, what's next for you? But it's like, we all knew this before, but nobody's saying it. So that's why again, they're like this, like that was another reason why that kind of gives me pause, where it's like, well, you're telling me about the lightweight title, which we already knew before going into this, that the winner of this fight was going to fight the champion.
Yep. And
it's the same thing in the main event, but for this fight, you do it, but the main event, you say nothing. It's crickets. You act like you guys didn't say that before. So that's why I'm just like, maybe something different is happening. Because again, I was asking people and nobody really was getting back to me. They were kind of being like, I don't know. People were still saying like, oh yeah, he's supposed to fight Rico. But then I remember people were trying to say like, oh, maybe they just said that to kind of put the leverage on Rico to like sign or something like that. And I'm like, all right, I don't know.
But I agree with you that there may have been some pressure here and there. They never did an announcement. So here's how I came upon it, is that even on Wikipedia now, Glory, it still says Glory Heavyweight Title Eliminator, because that's what we know. The source for that is a link to a press conference. Sorry, the source for that is just a link to a press conference, but in the press conference, they never actually directly said it. The only person they said it to, they texted me and told me what was going on. So I broke the news, but the source was me, Brandon. I was. So now I actually look back every once in a while at the text to be like, I checked twice and I was like, is that what they told me? Like that they directly told me that. So I don't know. Like that's just what I was told. I assume that they've changed their minds at this point. But yeah, because on Wikipedia now it says heavyweight title eliminator and the source is actually gone. So they don't even have a source for whatever that was. So I think they've changed their mind. I think they've made a 180 here, and just like that's no longer the plan. Something else is going to happen with Levy, and that's cool. That's fine too. I don't mind that one.
I mean, maybe we can finally get the Jamal Ben Saddik versus Levi Rickers fight that was supposed to happen originally at Glory 80. If that's going to be the plan.
Yep. No, I think that's fine. It's a great fight too. It's a ton of fun. You and I, we could just replay the breakdown. We've already done it, so I like less work for me. No, Plausified is so clearly like he already deserves the title. Whatever. Okay, let's move forward here. In Rise over the weekend, we had Petchpanomrung, Kit Moon 9. He became a two organization world champion when he defeated Kento Haraguchi. Kento did so much better than I expected him to do. These two have fought before, and it wasn't a particularly close fight. This time, it was really close. It was really exciting. Kento may have landed the more significant shots, judging the fight as a whole. They went the full time and then needed an extension round for the tiebreaker. In the extension round, I mean, Petchpanomrung is the guy. You just can't stop this guy. He has got endless cardio. He's got an endless gas tank. And he's got a roundhouse kick that just would kick me right in half. What did you think of this matchup here? Huge congratulations and all that.
I mean, excellent fight. Like I say, congrats to Petch, double champ right now because he's still the Glory champion, Rise champion as well. So, yes. I mean, he's the first person to ever do that, to have belts in both promotions like that at the same time as well. You know, I mean, that's a crazy thing. But then again, you're going back into somebody else's house, and you're going in there and you're taking it to them. And then, like I said, like talk about his roundhouse kick, with his back leg, his round two as we call it, with the back leg. I mean, it's a killer. Like I said, it keeps people on their toes, keeps them at bay, and it kind of usually always stops them from doing what they're doing. Because like I said, people try to get going with their combinations, and then boom, he throws that kick, and it kind of stops them. Because it makes them think a little bit, like, oh, maybe I don't want to take a few more of these.
Oh, unreal. So huge congratulations to him. And I would watch these guys fight more times. Like, it was such a good fight that I would want, if they want to make a couple more matchups between these exact same two guys, I'm in. It's so entertaining. The sport, when you see stuff like this happening, you just go like, this sport is the best sport in the world. This is so entertainment. It's so high level. Absolutely loved it. There's also some other good stuff going on Rise, such as Chad Collins, correct?
Yes, Chad Collins. Yes, his return bout back to Japan. He's from Australia. Came out, put his opponent to sleep in the first round. Say, man, I usually always kind of like these international fights when you got somebody that's an outsider coming into Japan, going up against a Japanese fighter. Because to me, in my mind, it's always set up for the Japanese fighter to get that W in front of that home crowd. But Chad Collins was not having it. He said, "I'm coming in and I'm blasting you. Australia's here," is what he was saying.
It's great. And we also had Kosei Yamada get a TKO victory against Jan Kaffe, a Dutch fighter going to Japan, right?
Exactly, a Dutch guy going to Japan, and it was bombs away on him, man. He caught him with a nice right hand, put him down. But yeah, man, again, another good fight as well. But this time it was for the guy from Japan and not the international fighter.
And similarly, we had Kazuki Osaki get a win over Sanchez. Not that Sanchez, different Sanchez. Not the famous Sanchez, just a Sanchez.
With this woman, with Osaki, man, his speed was just on point. Like, I think he was just too fast, and he had too much forward pressure, for a Sanchez to I guess stand up to it. It was just too much for him. But overall, though, man, it was a good fight, good performance as well.
Rise always has some of the best fight cards. For me, they're in a great time zone. It's like first thing in the morning. Love that. For the Americans, it's a little bit tougher. But yeah, Rise put on some amazing fights. Absolutely love to watch it. We also had some news this week going down. Robin van Roosmalen has officially retired. Now, I know he hasn't had a fight for a while, but now it's been officially declared. He was a former 2-division champion in Glory Kickboxing with featherweight and lightweight titles. He's fought kind of a who's who of that era of guys like Saddik and Giorgio Petrosian and David Curia, Petch, of course, Andy Risty. He's fought a who's who of who was around during this era. Tell me a little bit of like what your thoughts were saying goodbye to this legend like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tragic story, of how he had the accident. I think a couple of years ago, him and his sister, and she tragically died from it. But like you said, he had the injuries from the accident, and he just knew, he just wasn't able to recover and still compete. So that's why, he had to hang him up. But I remember though, Robin van Roosmalen, to me, man, he was a face of glory at the time. To me, it was him and Rico. They both were the faces of glory. To me at the time, you probably really could have said that Robin van Roosmalen really was more of the face, because at the time too, like I said, we all liked the lightweight division or the featherweight division more than the heavyweight division, because to me he had the more names. The Andy Risties, the Giorgio Petrosians were out there and everything like that. The Saddik and everything like that. Because I still remember the one card where I think it was in the Netherlands, where I believe Rico was the main event, and I think Robin van Roosmalen was the co-main, because I think that's when he fought Saddik, I think, for the second time. Like I said, but you put those guys as 1 and 2. So to me, those guys were the faces of Dutch kickboxing, especially, and also to the face of Glory. Then of course, he kind of left. He went into MMA. He was doing his thing in MMA as well. But again, like I say, his career didn't really get off. Because with the injuries and everything like that. But I mean, shout outs to him. I still remember when he won the lightweight title at Glory 18. He just beat up our good friend David Carrier. I think that fight took place in like Oklahoma somewhere. It was like, man, why is there kickboxing in Oklahoma? But for some reason, though, Oklahoma is pretty big in kickboxing. But that's another story. And then I remember when I think he lost. And then when I think he lost to Saddik, and he was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm gonna go down to featherweight. And he just pieced up my boy. I can't remember his name, man. My fellow Canadian. Gabriel Varga. Yeah, I remember he actually chipped Varga's tooth because Varga forgot his mouthpiece. I think going into like the 4th round or something like that, he got popped. And he was like, "Oh wait, I don't got my mouthpiece in," and he had a chipped tooth. But yeah, man, I mean, dude, but to me, man, Robin van Roosmalen, man, had tremendous pressure, went forward. To me, man, he was the definition of Dutch kickboxing. Hands up, throw some punches, got his low kicks. Shout outs to him, man, and I just hope he has a good life.
Me too. I'm wishing him all the best in his retirement years. Hoping he is making a recovery from the accident and injuries and stuff like that, because that's very sad. I hope to see him working with Glory. A lot of their broadcast partners are former fighters, so I hope to see him. And I mean, if Joseph Valtellini Bazooka Joe is your Hall of Fame pick, then Robin's got to be in the Hall of Fame. It's been a few years since they put someone in the Hall of Fame, but Robin deserves that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I was actually just thinking about that because I was thinking to myself like, oh, they're probably going to announce it probably at Collision because to me they like to do it at the big events. So right. I'm just like, all right, I could see him being the next choice.
I agree with you. Yeah, I think that would be really nice to see, and well deserved as well. He's fought the who's who of that division, so it's really nice to see. Now we're going to move on from that note to something else, and I couldn't come up with a segue, so here we go. But has anyone failed upwards more than Tariq Khabib? So he's won 1 fight in Glory and has gotten like 3 title shots off of it or something like that. So he lost to Rico Verhoeven during I think the heavyweight Grand Prix.
Yep, tournament.
The heavyweight tournament, and then he beat Levi Rigters. And then got knocked out twice by Antonio Blazabot. Got a title shot, I believe, against Luis Tavares, or was it a non-title bout? But now he's going to get a title shot against, let me just bring it up here, Sergey Masleboyev on Glory Collision 4. This guy just picks up the phone and says, yeah, I'll fight anybody. Whoever you guys offer me, I am here for it, because he has been taking some fights. I mean, they haven't all worked out, but yeah, tell me your thoughts on this.
I mean, we all knew that, he was gonna drop down to light heavyweight. We were cool with that. We were like, hey, because this kind of probably is really his weight division that he should be in. But it's like, man, you're coming off like 2 L's and you're getting a title shot over here. But
I know.
But to me though, is that really just a sign of saying that your light heavyweight division is really light? Like you don't really have anybody else, that you can give it to?
Yeah, I mean it's vacant right now. I wish it was Luis Tavares, but like there's Philippe, Sergey Masleboyev. Donegui.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in my head, like, why not let it be Philippe? But then though, I think is he coming off a loss as well? Was his last fight a loss?
Yes, I'm just looking at it now. Donegui Abina is on a 4-fight losing streak, ranked top.
Yeah, I actually believe that Abina and I think Philippe are actually fighting. I think maybe on Collision as well. I think those 2 are matched up.
So yes, in short, yeah, you're right. We came to the conclusion. We thought we were going to be smart and be like, what about this guy? Couldn't find a single guy who is coming off a win in the top.
Not even a guy, Michael Duke, ranked number 6.
No. So yeah, I mean, Khabib's good for him. That's great. I still wish it was Luis Tavares, but yeah, I think that's a winnable fight for Sergey Masleboyev. Am I crazy? I'm not wrong there, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, well, if you're going by what it is that we have seen lately, with Tank taking these L's, you want to be like, oh yeah, this is probably a fight for him. But I mean, hey, like I said, I mean, you got to think his last fight with Plaza Ba, he did go further than before, before he eventually got stopped. He did make it out of the first round.
Right, he improved. He got better. He's like a Dark Souls boss. You just need to make it a little bit further each time to beat him.
But I mean, I'm just saying. But hey, you got to think about it. He was going up against heavyweights. Usually more heavy hitters. He was going down to a division lower, so maybe he can take the shots a little bit better. But hey, man, we shall see. But to me, I think he still lacks the size, because I want to say that his opponent will definitely be taller than him, so he most likely will have the reach. Because what is Tank, like 5'10", maybe 5'9"?
Oh, yeah, he's never been that tall. I have here, he says 6 foot even, but I don't know if that's true at all.
6 foot with boots on.
Yeah. I don't know about that one, but yeah, he's not a big guy by any means. He's like every heavyweight that he saw has towered over him by quite a bit. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. That's fun, I guess.
Yeah, because his opponent is 6'2". Sergey 6'2".
So he still won't even have a size advantage going down a weight class. But yeah, I don't think he's 6 foot anything. But yeah, it would be nice if he got a nice little win here in Glory. Got another one.
I know. It would be crazy if this fight happens and he doesn't make the weight. He has to practice in it. I'd be like, oh, that would suck.
No, you're right. That is the timeline we're on for this light heavyweight title. Might as well. He just misses the weight, and then it's a non-title win for him or something stupid like that. That would be just perfect. Honestly, at this point, just close this division because it's not working out.
Yeah, man. I don't know where the people are. Like I said, I want to say that Abina and I think Felipe are fighting on that collision card as well. But I want to say they are fighting on that card.
I think you're probably right. I don't have it up here. Okay. But let's move forward. We also had some other fight announcements for Glory Rivals 2, which will be on September 17th of this year. Robin Keurig versus Andy Semler. Such a great fight. God, I like that. I'm a huge fan of Andy Semler. Ibrahim El Abouni versus Badr Fadous. And then we got some other stuff. What else did you see on this Glory Rivals 2 announcement that you like that stuck out to you?
Well, to me, it really was more of the infusion part, because also remember it's Glory Rivals 2, but also was Infusion 110 as well. So it's the same day. So I mean, to me, man, like just the infusion part, man, to me it seemed like they're really pumping up the ladies. So like saying you got was it Abatui versus Mulder happening, and then they got Dejean versus Albertus, and then Fluter versus. Was it Tazaber is how you say it?
No, I think you're perfect. Yeah, I think you're bang on.
They're bandwidth fights. But then there was one more, which of course this one I'm really looking for is the I want to make sure I say it right. Dejean versus Aloe Vera. That's really the number one fight that I'm looking for the ladies, because she's a champ too. Like I said, we keep talking about this Glory and Infusion joining up, but then it's like you look and then if you see somebody that was Infusion is now with Glory, because even the ring announcer who they have now doing Infusion, the woman, she was the one that was doing the hosting for the Badahari I'm not the Badahari the Jamal Ben Saddik and the Attic Bowie Crossfire thing. And when she introduced herself, she even said was like, "Oh yes, I'm with Glory now." Like she basically saying how she works for Glory. I'm like, wait, you're the ring announcer for Infusion? Like what's going on? Like that's why I think, man, like these lady fights to me, they're building them up, and then they're gonna be the ones that are gonna be, hey, all right, you're gonna go to Glory. Hey, Tiffany Van Soos, we got a bunch of women for you now, you know. But hey, I could be wrong. But this is just my thought. I keep seeing it, and I'm like, wait, this dude was just in Infusion. Now all of a sudden they're in Glory. Like I can just see it for the ladies as well, where it's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna see like you're gonna see them, and next they're gonna be, oh, we're now a Glory fighter. Yeah, no,
I think you're absolutely correct, especially bringing up the women, because there's not a lot of not a lot of kickboxing companies who are really drilling the talent here in Europe, and so it's great to see them really build up some talent, because like. We just announced Tiffany Van Soos will be defending her title at Glory Collision 4 against someone who's debuting in the organization, and I believe she's a Waco or an ISCA champion in amateur. So, like, if you are a fairly talented woman in that size, within a few years, you could probably go for a title, and that's what Infusion is kind of doing. But yeah, Glory just keeps taking all of Infusion's best talent, including their announcing staff and all that stuff. But yeah, Infusion was never again, act like a feeder league. They're clearly not. They're clearly the league with the talent.
But also too, but just to get on the Glory Rivals part, the one fight I know I am looking for is the Vote Ent versus, was it Belzine? That's how you say it?
Yep.
Yeah. I think that fight's gonna be a straight banger. Like those two dudes are definitely gonna go for it.
It's always going to be a show, man. Infusion always brings it. Infusion has the best show. And what did they take a nice vacation? Because they're going to be back in September, but they took a long break there. So it's going to be nice to get some shows, some consistency back in the Infusion cards. Coming up this week, we have some great little stuff going on in Muay Thai at ONE on Prime Video 1. Nongo will be looking to defend his title against the British striker, Liam Harrison. Both of them are in their twilight years, but it still will be a great fight for both of their legacies. We also have Walter Gonzalez going to be fighting Superlek. We expect a great Superlek victory. I think I speak for everybody. Rodtag Jitwongnong will be fighting Savas Mikkel, and this will be for the semifinals. The last two will be for the semifinals of the ONE Muay Thai Grand Prix, and the winners will face off in the finals later this year. Amber Kitchen is also on the card. That's cool. Anything you want to say on any of that?
Yeah, man. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm going to go with Liam Harrison to get the job done. I think this is his time, to get the belt. Like I said, man, his heart. The hard work that he's been putting in. And like I said, his last fight was a straight banger. Hopefully, though, he comes out a little bit better than that and not get dropped 2 times in the first round.
Could you imagine? Gets dropped twice and then wins the title? Sign me up. Sign me up.
It'd be a crazy one. And then also, too, I'm going to say Rodtang. I think everybody's picking Rodtang, to get this one. And then Superlek, of course. But then also too, man, the alternate fight. You can't forget about Haggerty, man. I think Haggerty is basically the future of Muay Thai in England. I think he's good. He's young. He has good speed as well. Just like Liam Harrison, he's got good combinations. So I definitely see Haggerty get in his hand raised. And of course, you mentioned her, man. You interviewed her, Amber Kitchen. Definitely looking forward to seeing her fight. Like I said, I saw her fight for like Infusion a couple of years ago, and then boom, it was crickets. You didn't hear from her again or anything like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her back in the ring, and I will definitely be cheering for her because, like I said, Julie Kitchen commentates for Infusion, so I'm a fan of the Kitchen family.
Oh, cosign. It's going to be a fun event. I mean, that ONE on Prime Video ONE Championship knows the best, the most entertaining. If you want something entertaining, put Muay Thai and kickboxing on your cards because there's barely any MMA on that card. It's mostly Muay Thai and kickboxing because of how exciting it is. But yeah, it will be a fun one, and really looking forward to because of this, the way the Grand Prix is structured, really looking forward to the finals as well. Like you said, Rodtang and Superlek probably meet in the finals. Liam Harrison pick as bold. I wouldn't say it's the most bold pick you've had, considering some of the stuff you've said. You picked Superbond to beat Giorgio Petrosian? Are you kidding me? Yeah. But look at us now. But yeah, Superlek Rodtang. Do you think Superlek gets it done? Most people on the inside are just like, yeah, Superlek wins that fight. Superlek's insanely good.
I mean, I think with the Superlek and Rodtang are in the finals. Like, I think Rodtang just, like, as he says, like, I think he has a chin. Like, I think he could take shots. But I think Superlek is basically, I guess you want to say, like, he's the more technical fighter. I think he's a better fighter. Like, I think Rodtang has the power and he has the chin to stand up for it. It's just like, hey, will Superlek be able to kind of move around and I guess you want to say survive and not get caught,
Yeah, I get what you're saying as well. Of like he really does have some. He's one of the best chins in the sports history, and that's not even hyperbolic. Of like Tenshin Nasukawa was on a 70% knockout streak and couldn't even knock him down, kind of thing. Like he's tough as nails. Demetrius Johnson with his overhand couldn't really hurt him. He's tough. But yeah, I'll probably pick Superlek in the final, but it also depends on how they look, coming up this Friday. So that'll be on August 26th. They're doing a double event. They're going to do ONE 160 earlier in the day, and then later in the day is going to be ONE on Prime Video 1, and it'll all be good stuff. We also have KRUSH 140 coming up on August 27th. I really want to talk about the main event in this one, which is going to be Ally Ainta looking to defend his title against Kota Nakano. Both of these guys young. Like, Ali Ainta is a guy who's absolutely filled with so much potential. 23 years old. Both these men are 23 years old, but Ali is he's 6 foot. And he's like defending, he's way down in weight. I'm really looking forward to what the future holds. Hopefully he keeps improving because he's been looking really good the last couple of bouts here. But yeah, it'll be a great card. That's going to be at K1 KRUSH 140 on August 27th. Anything you want to sound off on that?
I mean, just KRUSH. Like I know a lot. Like I say, I know K1 puts on a lot of events. It's like I feel like every week they always got something coming through. You know, and like KRUSH really is a part of K1. So I think a lot of people kind of sometimes forget about that. But I mean, KRUSH though, they always do a good job as well. They, you know, it's another good promotion as well. But yeah, man. I mean, anytime, man, through kickboxing, especially like, you know, Japanese kickboxing, man, like those dudes come out always with stylish gear. Like their walkouts are always amazing to me, man, because they be wearing a mask. They got, you know, they got the fine hoodies on. Their shorts are always stylish. I'm just here for it, man. I'm here for the action. I'm here for the violence. It should be a good card.
It always presents a good show, but they always have like the long like anime protagonist, long capes and stuff like that. I think we need to get our like merch company sponsoring some of these guys so that you and I can have a cape. We need some of that stuff. You especially, man. It would be great. Okay, anything else we need to cover off before we head out of here? We've covered everything.
Yeah, no, and just hey guys, just remember, like, subscribe, comment, man. Keep telling your friends about the show, Kicking It. Let's keep getting these views. You know, let's just keep spreading the word, you know, and just keep supporting kickboxing, man. Watch it, go to an event, man, support the kickboxers, let people know kickboxing is where it's at, because just everybody wants to be a kickboxer, but just nobody really ever wants to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Pereira was in the interview this week with, I mean, it was with Glory, so maybe that says, you know, he's being a little biased, but he's like, yeah, no, I like kickboxing more. It's way more fun. On the precipice of a world title fight in the UFC, he's like, nah, kickboxing's way better.
Exactly, man. Man, they know what it is. I think it's just, you know, he just went to North America. I think it's just he's getting the exposure. You know, he wasn't getting the immediate exposure in North America like he wanted.
Hey, absolutely. All right, let's get out of here. Kicking it for the week. Thanks so much for your time, Mr. Cuttino. We'll see you soon.